In this video, I want to share with you a very important hack for the world of web design. As a web designer, when you want to lay out certain advanced layouts, you may come across this particular problem. All right, so I want to give you the solution beforehand. So here it is. So let's say if you're designing your website and you have the main content and the sidebar area, and let's say this background area for this section, you want a different background color for that section only. All right, so what would you do? You would come over here and you say, okay, this is my sidebar and this is my main area. If I want a background for behind this, I'm just going to wrap this inside a div and maybe call it a class of container or wrapper or something like that. So I'm going to just call it wrapper and move both of these inside this particular div. All right, just like that. So just so it's easier for you to look at, I'm going to minimize. So inside the wrapper, there is sidebar and main. And since this was not indented correctly, I'm going to do so. All right, perfect. Save and refresh, and the effect should not be anything because this is just inside a container. All right, that's it. Now, to apply certain styles to it, I'm going to go to my CSS and create dot wrapper. And over here, I'm going to put in a background color and a border as well. So I'm going to simply copy these two properties, maybe make the border, let's say, 5 pixels just so it's visible, and a background color of, let's say pink, just so it's visible. Pretty dark, and do the same thing over here. Save, refresh, and what? The background is not there. And that is the problem I want to explain to you. Naturally, since this is outside it, the background color should appear, and this entire container, if I'm hovering over it, should all the way be containing both the main content and also the sidebar content. And this is in many ways a weird scenario, and that's why there's a hack for that to fix this particular scenario. And that case is actually, this is a hack. So what's happening is this problem happens when you have certain elements inside the wrapper which are actually floated left and right. So if I remove the float, if I remove it, you see the purple appears, and both of these children are actually being contained inside the wrapper. But when I put in the floats, if I float left on this side and float right on this side, it actually kind of does not seem to contain its children. All right. To fix this particular problem, you actually have the hack. And the hack is that on the wrapper, you actually add the property overflow and the value of hidden. And then it's going to act normal, which is the children are going to contain. And the problem really is that since this particular container, which is the main content and the sidebar, are actually moving itself on one edge and the other edge, or left and right, it actually creates empty space, or the illusion is gotten to the wrapper that there's nothing inside. So that's why it happens, which is a weird scenario, but this is the solution for that. If you want to read more about it, there's a URL that I want to share with you, which has an additional technique, which is called the Clearfix technique, to fix that issue as well. But this is the more common fix, but you can read much more about it, and I'm going to include the link. So talk to you in the next video, where we're going to build some beautiful looking websites from this point onwards and have fun with all the tools we have learned so far. Talk to you in the next video.